Wizard's first rule. Richard frowned. What? Wizard's first rule. People are stupid. Richard and Kalen frowned even more. People are stupid. Given proper motivation, almost anyone will believe almost anything. Because people are stupid, they will believe a lie because they want to believe it's true, or because they are afraid it might be true. People's heads are full of knowledge, facts, and beliefs, and most of it is false, yet they think it all true. People are stupid. They can only rarely tell the difference between a lie and the truth, and yet they are confident they can, and so are all the easier to fool. Because of the wizard's first rule, the old wizards created confessors and seekers as a means of helping find the truth when the truth is important enough. Rahl knows the wizard's rules. He is using the first one. People need an enemy to feel a sense of purpose. It's easy to lead people when they have a sense of purpose. Sense of purpose is more important by far than the truth. In fact, truth has no bearing in this. Darken Rahl is providing them with an enemy other than himself, a sense of purpose. People are stupid. They want to believe, so they do. But they were his own people, Kalen protested. He was killing his supporters. You will notice, not all the people were killed. Some were raped, tortured, but left alive to flee, to spread the news. You will also note how none of the soldiers were left alive to dispute the story. That it isn't the truth doesn't matter, and the ones hearing the story will believe it because it provides them with a sense of purpose, an enemy to rally against. The survivors will spread the word like a wildfire. Even though Rahl has destroyed a few towns that were loyal to him, and a few of his soldiers, he has gained many more towns to his side, 100-fold over. Even more people will rally around him and support him, because he has told them he wants to protect them from this enemy. Truth is hard to sell. It gives no sense of purpose. It is simply truth. Richard sat back a little stunned. But it isn't true. How can Rahl get away with it? How could everyone believe it? Zed gave him a stern look. You knew better. You knew it wasn't Westlanders, yet even you doubted your knowledge. You were afraid it was true. Being afraid something is true is accepting the possibility. Accepting the possibility is the first step to believing. At least you are smart enough to question. Think of how easy it is to believe for people who don't question, who don't even know how to question. For most people, it's not the truth that is important, it's the cause. Rahl is intelligent. He has given them a cause. His eyes glinted with purpose. It is the wizard's first rule, because it is the most important. Remember it. But the ones who did the killing, they knew. It was murder. How could they do it? Zed shrugged. Sense of purpose. They did it for the cause. But that goes against nature. Murder goes against nature. The wizard smiled. Murder is the way of nature, of all living things. Richard knew Zed was sucking him in. It was his way to draw you in with an outrageous statement, but his blood was up and he couldn't help protesting. Only some of nature, like predators, and that's only to survive. Look about at these trees. They can't even think of murder. Murder is the way of all things, the way of nature, Zed repeated. Every living thing is a murderer. Richard looked to Kalen for support. Don't look at me, she said. I learned a long time ago not to debate with wizards. Richard looked up at the beautiful big pine spreading over them, illuminated in the firelight. A spark of understanding lit in his mind. He saw the branches stretched out with murderous intent in a years-long struggle to reach the sunlight and dispatch its neighbors with its shade. Success would give space for its offspring, many of which would also shrivel in the shade of the parent. Several close neighbors of the big pine were withered and weak, victims all. It was true. The design of nature was success by murder. Zed watched Richard's eyes. This was a lesson, the way the old man had taught Richard since he was young. You have learned something, my boy? Richard nodded. Life for the strongest. There is no sympathy for the slain, only admiration for the winner's strength. But people don't think that way, Kaelin said, unable to hold her tongue. Zed gave a sly smile. No? He pointed to a small, withered tree near them. Look at this tree, dear one. He pointed to the big pine. And this. Tell me which you admire more. This one, she said, pointing at the big pine. It's a beautiful tree. This one, you see? People do think this way. It's beautiful, you said. You chose the tree that murders, not the one murdered. Zed smiled triumphantly. The way of nature. Kaelin folded her arms. I knew I should have kept my mouth shut. You may keep your mouth closed if you wish, but don't close your mind. To defeat Darkenral, you must understand him to know how to destroy him. This is how he's winning so much territory, Richard said, tapping his finger on the hilt of his sword. He's letting others do it for him, giving them a cause. Then all he has to worry about is going after the boxes. There is no one to interfere. Zed nodded. He uses the wizard's first rule to do most of the work for him. This is what makes our job so hard. He gets people on his side because people don't care about the truth. They do his bidding because they believe what they want to and fight to the death for these beliefs, despite how false they are. Richard slowly stood, looking off into the night. All this time, I thought we were fighting evil. Evil on the loose, run amok, but that's not it at all. What we're up against is more like a plague of fools. You have gotten it right, my boy. A plague of fools. Directed by Darkenral, Kaelin noted. Zed peered at her a moment. If someone digs a hole and it fills with rainwater, where is the fault? Is it the rain's fault? Or is it the fault of the person who digs the hole? Is it Darkenral's fault? Or the fault of those who dig the hole and let him rain in? Maybe both, Kaelin said. That leaves us with a lot of enemies. Zed lifted a finger. And very dangerous ones. Fools who don't see the truth are deadly. As a confessor, perhaps you have already learned this lesson, yes? She nodded. They don't always do what you think they will or should, and you can be caught off guard. People you don't think should be trouble can kill you quick. This doesn't change anything, Kaelin said. If Rahl gets all the boxes and opens the right one, he is the one who will kill us all. He is still the head to the snake. It is still this head we must remove. Zed shrugged. You are correct, but we must stay alive to have a chance to kill this snake, and there are plenty of small snakes that can kill us first. This is a lesson we already learned, Richard said. But as Kaelin said, it doesn't change anything. We must still get the box to kill Rahl. He sat down again next to her. Zed's face turned deadly serious. Just remember, Darkenral can kill you. He pointed a bony finger at Richard, then Kaelin. And you, then at himself. And me. Easy. Richard sat back a little. Then why hasn't he? Zed lifted an eyebrow. Do you go around a room and kill all the flies in it? No, you ignore them. They don't merit your attention. Until they bite. Then you swat them. He leaned closer to the two of them. We are about to bite him. Richard and Kaelin gave each other a sideways glance. Wizard's first rule. Richard felt a trickle of sweat run down his back. I'll remember it. And don't repeat it to anyone, the wizard admonished. Wizard's rules are for none but a wizard to know. The wizard's rules may seem cynical or trivial to you, but they are powerful weapons if you know how to use them, because they are true. Truth is power. I have told you to because I'm the head of the wizards, and I think it important for you to understand. You must know what Rahl is doing, since it is the three of us who must stop him. Richard and Kaelin both nodded their oath.